Hey everyone, okay, so we've got a tutorial today. I'm going to show you how to elongate your eye, really make your eye look wider and also make it look bigger at the same time. So I'm going to talk you through this, so it's going to be a longer tutorial, so bear that in mind. So I'm going to use my brushes and I'm going to use an eyeshadow palette. So the first thing we're going to do is you want to take a nice brush and apply a nice highlight color. So something maybe a bit shimmery, or you can do matte, whatever you want. And I'm just applying this to this inner portion of my eyelid and to the eyebrow arch. So just like that. So next I'm going to go in with a deeper shadow. So I'm going to take this shade here, which is a bit red. I've got green eyes, so these kind of reddy shades are really good. So I'm going to start in the crease, and what you want to do is, rather than bring it down too much, we want to take it out. So go back and forward and then take it out, and then really work that outside corner of the eye, because this is a very neglected area of the eye, and it's also an eye that's very oftentimes very discolored. So it can make eyeshadow application look odd. So really work the color into that outside corner, go back and forward into the crease and drag it out way past the tail of your brow. Now this is how I do eyeshadow work on other people, so it can seem quite scary when they're a new client, which is great. Just going to take a blending brush, it's totally clean, and I'm blending this up to the eyebrow. But we've still got that highlight shade there. It's now just a bit more subtle than it was. So I like to do things in threes. So I'm going to go back in and repeat. And the reason I do this is because then I know that the eyeshadow is going to stay on there all day. And I didn't prime the eye beforehand, but you absolutely can. So I know it looks a bit mental at the moment, but you've got to have faith. So the next thing we're going to do is take a smaller brush. These are all my brushes, link in the description bar. I'm going to take a black eyeshadow, but this is actually a bit of a crappy black, so it's almost like a dark grey. And I'm going to apply this to the outside corner of the eye, about a third of the way, really working that outside corner. The bit where there's discoloration oftentimes, certainly on my eye. So you're working it right into that area. Right here, and don't forget to pull it out at the same time and working it onto that lid. So same thing, I'm just going to blend it, looking gorgeous, Wayne. I love working like this because it allows me to, it allows me to do a few things. It allows me to scare the client, which I love, but it also allows me to be a little bit more messy and know that I can make this look gorgeous at the end. So I'm going to take that same that same kind of dark grey, and I'm going to line a third of the way, and this bit comes quite tricky. Right here, this is where we stop, so it's really thick on this outside corner, and then it stops right here in the middle. We will fill it in, but not right now. And again, making sure that outside edge is really, really done. So now I'm going to knock off everything on the back of my back of my hand, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to give this a little bit of a light blend, just to make sure that the colours are transitioning a little bit more. And we can always add highlight colour. Next, you're going to take your baby wipes. We're not finished. So take a baby wipe, and I just like to fold it in half, and then again. And what we're going to, and then again. And what we're going to, and then again. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off this outside corner. So right from underneath here, we're just going to start to clean up. So this is why I do the eyes first, as you can imagine. So my eyebrow ends right about there. And if I extend it, we could get a little bit longer. So I'm just going to start to work the colour up. Otherwise the eye's going to come too far out and it's going to be too dramatic. Now remember, I've purposely gone for colours that are really strong because I want this tutorial to stand out with the camera because of the lights and everything. But you could use a really subtle colour. So I'm just going to kind of take my finger and I'm just going to soften this edge down a bit because I don't want it quite so thick. So you can see that the eye is being pulled apart. Very dramatic, very kind of night out, maybe not popping down to Asda, but you get the gist. So now we're going to make sure that that same brush is knocked off. We're now going to take it in and we're going to go really finely now, much more fine than I just did, and go all the way in to the inside corner, right the way up here. So you want to come all the way in, past the tear duct area, if you can, just a fraction. So now you're going to take a kohl pencil and you're going to line just this section of the upper waterline and a third of the way in of the lower waterline. So right here, you want to go all the way, a third of the way, making sure you really connect this corner. So can you see that by doing that, we've extended the eye, we've made the eye look longer than it really is. Now we can go in now with the kohl pencil if you want, but if you do decide to, because this is going to make the eye look a bit smaller, but we're going for length, so you can really go for it with the kohl pencil, otherwise just leave it at that second third. Now with your black pencil, your brush, just go really lightly along the top of the lash line. So next thing I'm going to do before I do anything else is just clean up a little bit and put something on my skin so I can get a better kind of picture. Okay, so now we need to put some mascara on. So I've actually just zoomed out quickly so you can see it in a zoomed out perspective. So you can see that there is this really seductive quality about this kind of look for the eye. It's very, very kind of, almost when you squint your eyes, it gets even better, if that makes sense. So mascara's on. I hope you can see how elongated and pulled up and out the eye is. So the eyes look very feline. They're going down here and up at the outside corner. And I've got very small eyes. There's not a lot of lid space. The crease is closing in as I'm getting older. And I know it's really dramatic, and that was the point of this, so it would stand out, because everything gets bleached out here with these lights, and I can't control the color temperature. But I really hope that that made sense. And you can see that you can make a mess, you can do things quite extreme, but they don't have to look that way at the end. You can clean them up, you can edge them off, and you can make somebody's eyes, regardless of what shape, feline, by going past the tear duct and pulling up and out. And that's the thing to remember here. If you pull just out, you're going to elongate the eye long ways. We want to create that feline by pulling it in that direction. There you go. So I hope you found that interesting. I love doing eyes this way because I'm not naturally artistic, and it took me a very long time to come up with ways that allow me to make a bit of a mess and then start to create the perfection that way, because I couldn't naturally create it myself because I'm not very artistic, so I had to find other ways in how to work things with the face. And this is what I came up with the eye. So I hope you like it, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you, please thumbs up and all the rest, share it, be nice, and I'll see you soon, bye-bye.